Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome on into TTP Sports. And the Philadelphia Phillies, they're starting a 3-game series with the Houston Astros, a World Series rematch that we all in Philadelphia would definitely like to forget. But you know, this entire series, all these national broadcasts, especially on Apple TV and ESPN on Sunday, they're going to remind us heavily. And they did that already 20 billion times today on Apple TV, and I was just reliving terrible nightmares all over again. But that's not the most important thing. I don't know why I brought up harsh memories. Maybe because I like pain. Maybe that's the reason why. But at the end of the day, the Phillies, they come on in to Houston in a huge 3-game set after winning a series against the Seattle Mariners. Got probably your 2 best pitchers on the mound for this series, and Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler, and you come into game 1 and you win it. And Aaron Nola, his best start of the season, he goes 8 strong innings in this ball game. Basically, after giving up the home run to Jeremy Pena in the first inning and a little bit of help from Nick Castellanos in that first inning as well, robbing Alex Bregman of a go-ahead home run in the first inning. The call, by the way, on the broadcast was absolutely terrible on that play. He deked out all of us, though. Even though, originally, when I saw it in front of my own eyes on the television, I was like, he caught that. He definitely caught that. He wasn't given any type of body language that he missed that ball. He caught it. He robbed it. Nick Castellanos, give him the goddamn gold glove already. My God. That was an electric play. And honestly, that was probably a game-saving play because who knows what would have happened if that catch doesn't happen from Nick Castellanos. Maybe Aaron Nola does not have the game that he does after allowing 2 home runs in the first inning. Maybe it just continues to spiral out of control. But Nick Castellanos saves the day. Aaron Nola settles down very mightily. And he had himself a very good game, his best start of the season. And please, Aaron Nola, build off of this. And I do like Rob Thompson's decision to bring him back out for that 8th inning. His pitch count was very fine for going back out for 8. And he did a damn good job of it. Damn good job. Was getting, a lot more swings and misses than usual, getting a lot of soft contact. There were some defensive lapses, when the Phillies took a 2-1 lead. He allowed a couple of base runners. Trey Turner made a mistake trying to throw to first, maybe when he shouldn't have. Alec Boehm, doesn't play the ball properly after that Trey Turner throw, but then you get Jose Abreu's dumbass running home on a chopper up the first baseline, and Alec Boehm just literally has to toss the ball to home plate, and Jose Abreu was tossed out by literally 5 miles because that's how slow he is. And you got out of that inning basically unscathed. That was the first out, and then Aaron Nola basically easy come, easy go for the rest of that inning and the rest of the night. Huge home run from Kyle Schwarber, and the bottom of your lineup chipping in. Edmundo Sosa with 2 doubles in this game. Christian Pache with an RBI double. He does leave the game, though, with, a knee injury during, I believe, the one of the Bryce and Stott at-bats. It was directly after his RBI double. I believe Stott fouled a ball off. He was ready to go on that pitch, and it looked like he maybe pulled something or just did something with that knee. He looked very uncomfortable there. The trainers come out immediately. Pache tried to tell him, I'm good to go. I'm fine to stay in. But understandably, with all the injuries the Phillies are dealing with so far, I really don't blame them for being cautious in this point because you do have a Brandon Marsh on the bench that can come out and play center field. And then later on in the ball game, Edmundo Sosa doubles again, and then Brandon Marsh drives him home. Honestly, during that count, Brandon Marsh probably could have walked, but the umpire called it a strike. This will be the one time I thank the umpire. The one time, because if he called that ball 4, probably we wouldn't be getting an RBI single in that situation from Brandon Marsh. Instead, it was called a strike, 3-2 count, and Brandon Marsh singles up the middle. So your 9-hole hitters, both of them, Pache and Marsh, both driving in a couple of RBIs, and Edmundo Sosa getting a couple of extra base hits in this game. And honestly, I did like the approach that some of the guys had against Valdez today. Framber Valdez, we all saw him last year in the World Series, him basically destroy us. Kyle Schwarber had a couple of great at-bats, especially, you see the first inning home run, the first inning bomb that he had. That ball was absolutely murdered. Crushed into the seats, 2 outs, put the Phillies up 1-0. Sadly, Jeremy Pena timed it, but then you get, the huge catch from Nick Castellanos. And basically, that's just how the rest of the game goes. Aaron Nola just dealt from there. And it was fun to watch. Basically, a very stress-free game. Maybe a couple of innings here and there, but overall, the Astros only had, 3 hits in this ballgame? 3? And there were no walks, so that was a good thing from Aaron Nola today. He controlled the walk issue that he's been having in his first couple of outings. But overall, let's look at Aaron Nola's stat line. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed, 6 strikeouts, and 107 pitches. The home run allowed to Jeremy Pena. He only allowed 2 hits afterwards, and one of those was because of an error. And overall, like I said, Aaron Nola's best start of the season. This is the Aaron Nola we desperately needed coming into this series, like I said. Yet Aaron Nola tonight, you're going to have Zack Wheeler tomorrow night, and that's a huge chance that those guys, play to the level that they're capable of. It's a huge chance to come into this series and really take 2. And you already got 1 tonight, and you have a chance with Zack Wheeler on the mound tomorrow to win it. So, like I said, Aaron Nola gave you the gem today. If Zack Wheeler can pitch up to the level that he's capable of, you have a really good shot at winning this series. And hey, this was a huge stretch for this Phillies upcoming. We all saw it with the Mariners, with the Astros, with the Dodgers. And so far, you have won, in the 4 games you won, 3 out of the 4 games that you played against these teams so far. So that's really good to see. That is really good to see. From Aaron Nola today, Jose Alvarado just comes into that 9th inning, and it's just totally unfair. It is totally unfair. He throws 100 miles an hour down and outside, like right down the middle, and you literally can do nothing with it. All the batters literally do is just stare at it. The one pitch to Jeremy Pena was like, seriously, how the hell do you hit that? You just don't. You just don't. You just, sit there and take it. Because, shit, I can't do anything with this. What the fuck do you expect me to do? Walk back to the dugout. Really can't do anything with that at all. And then Kyle Tucker grounds out to end the game. Jose Alvarado continues his dominance. And I want to see this one stat line that I saw for Jose Alvarado because it's just absolutely amazing. So this comes from Brent McGuire. So he tweets out that Jose Alvarado has basically turned into an 80-grade stuff and command guy this season. He has struck out 24 of the first 43 batters that he has faced this year, and he has walked 0 batters. And he has only just allowed 1 run. So out of the 43 batters he's faced, he struck out 24 of them, did not walk a single batter, and he has an ERA of 0.73. And that 1 run that he allowed was a home run to Jorge Soler in the Marlins series a couple of weeks ago. Basically, since then, that was his only mistake, and he has been the best reliever in baseball by far this year. The complete change that we have seen from Jose Alvarado has been amazing. From the, his really rough start to the beginning of last season, he goes down to AAA. He works in a couple of things. He develops a cutter. Caleb Cotham teaching him a bunch of different things to develop with his pitching arsenal. He comes back up. He's a completely different guy. Once he implements that cutter into his pitch mix, he was a completely different pitcher. Was untouchable. He became one of the best relievers in baseball down the stretch. He was huge in your postseason run. And then obviously, you see the home run to Alvarez in the World Series. Granted, that was just, from the workload that Alvarado got. Definitely the biggest workload probably of his entire career. You saw how gassed he is, but he still went out there and tried to give you 100% every single time. And now I think we're reaping the benefits of it. Of him, the way he's starting this season. It's just amazing to watch. And how we stress with this bullpen. On how many of electric arms that you got in the back end. Electric. The trade for Gregory Soto, already looking like it's working out for you. Had a rough, maybe 1 or 2 outings, but he's basically been really good since. Sir Anthony Dominguez had a rough start, but it looks like he's going back to the Sir Anthony of old. Craig Kimbrell in his past, so many outings has been dominant. Wasn't really expecting that from him. And then Jose Alvarado, man. And then you put in, all the other guys there in the front end of the bullpen. When Andrew Bellotti gets healthy and not being used, 50 times every day. Connor Brogdon. Matt Strahm, when he eventually goes into the bullpen, you're eventually going to get Nick Nelson back there. Ortiz has been really good since he's been called up. This bullpen's good, man. This bullpen's nasty. I don't believe that bullpen, what we saw in the first, maybe 1 or 2 series, that wasn't the actual bullpen and how it was supposed to look like. I think right now what we're seeing with the bullpen in the past week and a half to 2 weeks, I think this is the actual Phillies bullpen. Because we stressed going into this how Dave Dombrowski wanted that bullpen built. You saw what the Astros were last season. We saw it firsthand in the World Series on how they really heavily relied on their bullpen, and their bullpen got some huge outs, some huge moments from them. Didn't really need their starters to go deep in the ball games when you have that deep of a bullpen. And that's what Dave Dombrowski has built for us this year. And I think we're reaping the benefits, and especially guys like Jose Alvarado, it's just completely just developed into one of the best pitchers one of the best relievers in baseball. It's amazing to watch, man. It really is. It's absolutely fantastic. Looking at the lineup today, you had 8 hits. Bryson Stott went 1 for 4. Trey Turner continues to struggle. He didn't strike out, though. He goes 0 for 4 in this ballgame. Kyle Schwarber with the solo shot in that first inning, 1 for 4. Nick Castellanos went quiet today at the batter's box, but hey, when you rob a home run, man, I don't care what you do in the batter's box. You won the game, and that was one of the reasons why you won it, with him robbing that home run in the first inning. JT Realmuto had a couple of hits in this ballgame. He goes 2 for 4. Alec Boehm goes 0 for 4. Josh Harrison goes 0 for 4. Edmundo Sosa 2 for 3 with 2 doubles in this game. Christian Pache went 1 for 2 with an RBI double before he left the game with the knee injury. Hopefully everything is fine with him. It did not look good. It did not look pretty. He looked like he was in a bit of pain there. So just hopefully when everything gets checked out, he gets the MRI and all that stuff, everything, it's just, because, man, he was looking fine. He was looking really good. And yeah, we gave him a lot of shit because him being forced into the lineup every day. But, Kevin Long works his magic. And he's been giving us some hits here. The home run a week ago. He's been getting some extra base hits. Drove in the run today. He's been earning his playing time with the way he's been hitting. And he also gives you a good outfield. He does. So it sucks to see him go down. It definitely does. But Brandon Marsh comes in. The only at-bat that he gets, drives in another run. The third run of the ball game for the Phillies. He goes 1 for 1 there. And you go 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. So that was really good to see. Basically, your 2 9-hole hitters, Pache and Marsh, driving in those runs. And then the Kyle Schwarber home run in the top of the first inning. And look at the lineup for the Astros. Even though they're missing some guys, they still got a really good lineup as well. Dubon goes 0 for 4. I believe he had a 20-plus game hitting streak that you ended today, so that was nice. Jeremy Pena, he got the lone run for the Astros with the solo shot. He was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Kyle Tucker, you kept him quiet, 0 for 4. Alex Bregman went 0 for 3. Got robbed of the solo shot. Jose Abreu, 1 for 3. Julks, 1 for 3. Myers, 0 for 3. Bandon, 0 for 3. And Maldonado, 0 for 3. Astros, they went 0 for 3 with guys and runners in scoring position. And that was also granted for Jose Abreu being stupid on the base paths. So, hey, we get a little bit of witnessing another team being done with the base paths today. So that's a nice change of scenery. Definitely is. Valdez, though, he was still good. Even though he only allowed 3 runs in this ballgame, he went 7 innings, 8 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. I thought overall the Phillies at-bats were better against Valdez. Definitely. I feel like they just understand what type of pitcher he was. He was still going to battle, but they worked the counts. They worked the pitch counts up. They found ways to foul balls off, and some guys found some success off of it. When Valdez was hanging some pitches, to Sosa, the Schwarber, the Pache, the Marsh, those guys took advantage. And that's one of the reasons why you won this ball game. So, you get back to 500. No, you don't get back to 500. You did that yesterday. You're over 500 for the first time this year. 14 wins on the season, 13 losses. Really good to see. Excuse me. Really good to see. So, yeah. Now, you have a chance to win the series tomorrow. Zack Wheeler on the bump. Zack Wheeler coming off of one of his better starts of the year against the Rockies, even though he still had a blow-up inning. But, Aaron Nola has the best start of his season so far tonight. Why can't Zack Wheeler do that tomorrow as well? And you're going up against the guy that was involved in Goodbye No in the World Series last year, Christian Javier. So why not get some revenge on him? Why not make him cry? Why not? Why not make him cry? So tomorrow's ball game, like I said, it's going to be Zack Wheeler against Christian Javier. Christian Javier is 2-0 with a 3.21 ERA. 29 strikeouts, 6 walks allowed, 4 home runs given up. Looking at Christian Javier's past couple of outings, he was in one of the games where they swept the Braves. He went 6 innings, struck out 10, walked 2, allowed a home run. Got a win against the Blue Jays, allowed 1 run. Game where they lost against the Pirates, he allowed 4. Beat the Detroit Tigers, struck out 5, 1 earned run. First game of the year, he allowed 3 earned runs against the White Sox, 6 strikeouts. So basically, he's coming off of his best start of the season so far against the Braves. 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 2 walks. Best start of the season so far. Why not? Let's give him his worst start of the year. Why not? I'm sure we're going to be a little bit of, anticipating him. He's the guy that embarrassed us in the World Series. Game 5 at home. Goodbye no. Wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked. It would be nice to win tomorrow to get the series done and over with. It would be nice. Because I believe Sunday it's going to be Bailey Falter, Sunday night on ESPN. Bailey Falter against Jose Urquidy. It would be nice to win the series tomorrow with Zack Wheeler. Just let these two guys at the top of the rotation build some confidence. I think that's the most important thing that you should be getting from this series. Aaron Nola looked really good. Why not Zack Wheeler? Why not Zack Wheeler? That's the most thing I'm going to be looking forward to. Aaron Nola was really good today, man. This is what we desperately needed. I want to see the same thing from Zack Wheeler tomorrow. He racked up a lot of strikeouts against the Rockies. He still had that blow-up inning. I want to see a clean game from Zack Wheeler. A clean game. That's what I want to see. Castellanos on what he was thinking when he made that catch in the first inning, the Rob Alex break of a home run. Fuck yeah, I got it. Is there anything else from this game, Rob Thompson, or anything like that? I don't believe there is. No. I don't believe there is. Let's see what... I do remember them seeing something on Pache. Yeah, right knee injury for Pache. Right knee injury, so I'm assuming they're going to be doing their tests and all that stuff. MRIs and crap. So you just got to wait and see. In other injury news for around baseball, to no surprise, Rangers pitcher Jacob deGrom leaves tonight's game with forearm tightness. Basically, you could just schedule that, put it right on the calendar. Oh, Jacob deGrom injury. It sucks, because when he is healthy, he is one of the best pitchers in the league. It just sucks that he can't stay healthy. That is one of the things that sucks. Definitely is. But, overall, cannot complain about today. And I'm just watching a lot of the other things around the sports world. You see the Eagles, draft day 2, draft a couple of guys from Illinois and Alabama, I believe. So, picking up a couple of things in the draft there. Howie Roseman moved back to get a couple of more picks in this draft, which was nice to see. Also around the sports world, you see the Florida Panthers upset the Boston Bruins. They force a Game 7. I believe that's going to be on Sunday. Imagine if the Florida Panthers beat the Boston Bruins in this series. Boston Bruins, record-setting team in the National Hockey League for points and wins. And they get upset by the Panthers. Ooh, that would be funny. That would be funny if that were to happen. What else? What else? Don't think there's anything here that we should bring up. Don't think there is. I don't think there's anything else more on this game. Really isn't. So, I think... See a couple of you in the chat. Ken, how you doing, man? Haven't heard from you in a little bit. Nola was in beast mode tonight. Feels so bad for Pache. He has worked so hard and is coming into his own. And dang it, yeah. That sucks to see. Gets the RBI. Just unfortunate he pulled something on a foul ball. Sucks to see. He was doing good. Hopefully it's just nothing serious. Hopefully it's just something he tweaked. But it didn't look good, though. It didn't. I just hope it's nothing long-term for him. Just hopefully it's not. Alvarado is Alvarado's electric, man. From the down part at the beginning of the last season, to him going down to AAA, reworking some stuff, coming back up. It's been completely different, man. Completely different. Yeah, this win felt great. This was a good win. So that's 3 wins in a row so far for this Phillies team. And looking at their past so many games so far, going back to that Chicago White Sox series. So looking at everything, that's 3, 7, 10, 11. They've won 8 of their last 11 games, the Phillies. So they've been on a hot streak lately. Definitely. They've been on a hot streak. Maybe getting it hot at the right time. Good to see, though. Definitely good to see. Like, this is the Phillies I expected. Winning more games. Definitely expected that. So, just looking at the standings right now. Just see. Yeah. Standings aren't important right now. Definitely not. So, Corey's nervous for the Sixers and the Celtics. We'll get there when we get there. Definitely still a little bit concerned about Embiid's status. I don't know how to feel going. When I see game 1, I'll probably get my full entire feelings on that. It's basically, even though they're going to say, oh, the status for Embiid is all this, blah, 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 he's most likely going to play game 1. So, have you heard that White Sox rant on Chicago local radio? I did not. Probably going to have to check that out. I'm assuming they're complaining mightily on how bad the team is. It was going around on Twitter. I'll probably look it up tonight then. I'll definitely look that up. Definitely can go for some comedy on my feed. So, actually, before, why not? I'll play it here. Let's see. So it's White Sox radio or Chicago White Sox rant local radio. Let's see. White Sox rant. Let's see.
Sox fan for nearly 40 years.
Oh God, can you guys hear that? I turned the audio capture on.
I've been a diehard Chicago White Sox fan for nearly 40 years. I say that with the very express intent of sharing my deep and undying love for this team. And my call is rooted in heartbreak, not anger. Don't get me wrong. I'm angry, but it is a byproduct of a dysfunctional, abusive relationship with the front office and the ownership of the Chicago White Sox. I also want to say I have defended this rebuild. I liked what the team did with the trades. I defended Yasmani in Dallas. I didn't understand the La Russa hire, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I forgave the free agents they let go. I was befuddled by the Benintendi and Clevenger signings, but you know what? I said, I'm going to give them one last shot. And when they canceled Sox Fest, like the cowards they are, I knew something was up. But now we know. Obviously, the experiment is over. The vast majority of the prospects have been busts. The product on the field is pathetic. We have exactly 2 players of excellence on this roster, Dylan Cease and Tim Anderson. Everyone else is nowhere near the kind of player they need to be to make this a winning team. You'd think that would be enough to wake this organization up. But yesterday, Kenny Williams had the gall to say that he's not in a good place right now, and accountability is not an issue. You're right, he's not in a good place. He's not in a job he should have. Think about all the promises that Rick Hahn made, mired in mediocrity, that he bragged about Romy Gonzalez in spring training, and I'll trade him if I get the right price. Think about the things Grifol said, come to the park, we're going to kick everyone's butt. They must have been talking about the fans, not the other teams. The entire lineup is batting under 220. The best hitter on the team is Jake Berger. We're a AAA team. Our right fielders are hitting 180 with a weighted run created plus of 28. I don't even need to tell you about the pitching staff. Katz has got to go. Moncada, TA, Eloy, Yaz, Joe Kelly. It's week 4. They've all already been hurt. Tens of millions of dollars on replacement-level players while stars go elsewhere. We're 11 games under 500. The Bears needed 6 months to get 11 games under 500. We needed 3 weeks. In the 15 years of Rick Hahn, we have been a constant experiment that has never panned out. In the 25 years...
I need to pause that. It took the Bears 6 months to get 11 losses. Oh my god, I need to hear that again.
Months to get 11 games on replacement level players while stars go elsewhere. We're 11 games under 500. The Bears needed 6 months to get 11 games under 500. We needed 3 weeks. In the 15 years of Rick Hahn, we have been a constant experiment that has never panned out. In the 25 years of Kenny Williams, we had exactly 1 season of excellence with a perfect storm of players that has not once come even close to being the same. I don't want to hear about the strength of schedule in April. With the money we've spent, the players we have, playing
I see
500 ball should be underachieving. Not 11 games under 500. We keep going after players that Rick Hahn liked 5 years ago. Lance Lynn, over the hill. Yaz, over the hill. Benintendi, he wanted him in the draft 6 years ago. He's got a .1 WAR. Clevenger isn't just a clubhouse cancer and a disgusting human being. He's a horrendous pitcher. Joe Kelly has been useless. We signed Vince Velasquez. Give me a break. John Jay, Yonder Alonso. Between them, that's $200 million on a bunch of black holes and an ERA of 240. The entire organization is poisoned. The entire way that they go about their business is a failure. Firing Rick isn't enough. Firing Kenny isn't enough. If Chris Guest gets promoted and we have to sit through another 15-year retool rebuild, you're just going to hear from me again in 2038. I don't care if we go on a torrid winning streak in May and June and somehow get back to 500 ball, and then we scooch our way into the postseason and the wild card, only to get bounced right away by a team that's actually good. We have no depth in our organization. 1 injury and we are done. This process isn't working. Our farm system has been in the bottom 10 for 45 years, aside from the one frame of time when they traded all our talent away and graduated them all right up, and then we were the worst again. There is one solution. In his final years,
I bet they really regret trading Tatis. The White Sox had Fernando Tatis Jr. Who did they trade him for again? James Shields, was it? It was James Shields they traded Fernando Tatis for. Probably should tell you a lot about the White Sox.
Jerry Reinsdorf, who, by the way, wouldn't even have the reputation he has if he hadn't have lucked upon Michael Jordan at 3 in 1984, has the courage to get rid of the yes men around him and fire everyone. He bought into the Chicago Bulls and the White Sox for $20 million. He's worth $2 billion now. He needs to use a fraction of that money he made on the backs of Chicago's blue-collar baseball fans and pay for a front office to come and rebuild everything. Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams cannot be trusted to rebuild this team again. They need to retire and go off into the sunset and play golf with the millions of dollars they made on their cushy paychecks for a job that they had a longer leash for than any executive in the history of the modern era of baseball. Let someone qualified come in and run this team. At this point, we would need a historic turnaround to even be mildly relevant. Everyone said the AL Central was weak, and it might be in comparison to others, but the Sox aren't better than the Guardians or the Twins. We're not.
Why is there a White Sox ranting on a Phillies show I just joined? Well, the chat was talking about the White Sox rant, and they said you should listen to it. I was like, why not? I'll listen to it on the show. I have nothing else to talk about with the night's game. I basically recapped everything else. I was like, why not have some comedy here?
Not even better than the Royals. And the fact that we're only incrementally better than the Tigers is exactly the kind of indictment on this organization that we need. The lack of success that this roster has is a referendum on what we've already seen in 2006, 2007, 2011, 2013, 2015, and 16, and the excruciating last 7 years that only led to this. I mean, Stoney is more worried about Lance Lynn eating a salad than the entire organization not knowing how to teach major league prospects how to hit a baseball.
All right, Berno.
Berno, you get an A+ purely on presentation.
I mean, like that was
presentation.
That's the call of the year, right
that's
there.
Will Ferrell debating James Carville and just knocking him out with one swing.
Listen, with $200 million, we're the laughing stock in the league, and everyone needs to be gone. I just needed other people in Chicago to be on that. That's the bandwagon we in Chicago need to be on. The entire front office, ownership, they all need to go.
Listen, in Berto,
sounds like Flyers fans, honestly. I don't blame the guy. I don't blame the guy. I'm a Flyers fan. Everything that's went for the Flyers this year has went to complete shit. And they're making front office changes, so we'll wait to see if that happens. that was funny. That was funny. That's weird, though. Remember when the White Sox, they made the playoffs in the bubble? They were actually a good team at that point. You know, Rhys, Robert, and all that stuff. Top prospect in baseball. Just hasn't really panned out. The entire team and all that crap. I'm just saying, you had Fernando Tatis Jr. and you traded him for James Shields. That's basically it. I love the fact that he said, we signed Vince Velasquez. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man, that was good. That was good. Just proves that the bubble year was a fluke. Yeah, basically. So, Bryce Harper's return nears. Can you feel it? Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. Rob Thompson said today his batting session went really well. Probably the best he's looked so far. He's going to have another one on Sunday in Houston, and then he's going to have that doctor's appointment on May 1st in Los Angeles. So, yeah, Bryce Harper, man. Bryce Harper. Oh, yeah, the Clevenger line was really good, too. You're signing Mike Clevenger, man. You know what you're going to get. A locker room cancer, a cancer in real life, and a guy that just got rocked around in the NLCS. Rocked, but a 4-0 lead. Rocked. Murdered by Rhys Hoskins and the rest of the Phillies lineup. Man, that was good. That was comedy. That was some good comedy there. The Phillies contributed to this rant. Ay. Yeah, I gotta send that Astros or White Sox thing to my group chat, just so these guys can listen to it. Oh man, that was good, Corey. I thank you for recommending that. So, I think that's where we're gonna do it for tonight, everybody. Finished it off with a nice comedy there from the White Sox fan misery. Feel bad for the guy, I do. I know the pain with the Flyers. I understand that. But, yeah. We'll leave it off there. Phillies got a good win tonight. Nola dominated. Looked really good today. Nick Castellanos with the catch of the year, probably. Let's just continue this, man. Zack Wheeler on the bump tomorrow. I expect no less than what Nola did today. Let's see. Let's see, man. Continue this stretch. And then we're going closer and closer and closer and closer. Closer to Bryce Harper getting back. Get closer and closer, man. That's all that matters. Closer and closer to Bryce Harper. That's all that matters. I'll try to get back in here. And I just saw that probably. Okay, I was just doing something there. I just saw that. I was just checking my YouTube real quickly. I just saw we hit 700. 700 subs. I appreciate that, everybody. Love y'all. Love y'all. So, I thank everyone. Appreciate everyone for that. So, that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Hit that subscribe button, man. I just literally saw it. We reached 700 subs. Big goal, big milestone for me. Join the channel, join the fun, like we did with that White Sox fan misery. Join it. Surpass 700 subs, inching closer and closer to 1,000. Let's get it there, man. Join the channel. Hit that sub button. TTP Sports. Also use that code TTP Sports. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. Thank you for the 700 subs. Love y'all.